In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys ways as well as strategies on how you can hit that 4,000 hours of watch time and get more watch time on your channel now in 2020 faster. Now, if you're someone who has been struggling with getting that watch time, hitting that 4,000 hours milestone, then in this video, I'm going to simplify the entire process and provide you guys with strategies and ways on how you can hit that now, easy, faster in 2020. Now, if that sounds exciting, because I'm excited, then you definitely do want to keep on watching. Okay, so now let's get started. I feel like every YouTuber needs to watch this, whether you're a startup YouTuber, whether you have millions of subscribers, but every YouTuber needs watch time, because watch time equals to growth. Because with watch time you get subscribers, you get more money, and you get more views in general. So now the first thing I do want to talk about is, I feel like it's the most important, and this is something that could affect your retention rate and then also affect your watch time, and that is to make your content as engaging as possible. Now, you want to make it as engaging as possible, so that way people want to stay on your channel, that way people want to keep on watching your content, and that way it increases your watch time. So I'm going to have a video on how to create engaging content over here. If you guys are starting off and you want to learn that, then definitely click on that. I'm going to be sharing with you guys tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can make and enhance your content, so that way it's more engaging and people definitely want to stay on from the beginning to the end. Now, by creating engaging content, what that does is that increases your audience retention, increases the number of people, the rate of people, the percentage of people who watch your content, and the duration of how long they actually watch that content. Now, the higher that retention is, the higher your watch time would be, and the more likely they would subscribe in the end, right? So you always want to make sure that it's engaging. Simple things you can do, maybe add music, maybe interact with them, ask a question, tell them to subscribe, tell them to like, make them engage, make it feel like it's a two-way thing. What I can do is to provide you guys with tips on how to make your content more engaging, which you can find here. However, I can't tell you what to do, because again, your content, your personality, you are different from me, and I want you to interpret engagement by yourself, right? So you determine what is engaging to you and what your audience find engaging, but define that and put in a lot of that in your content, so that way people want to watch from the beginning to the end. So tip 2, and this is probably the most obvious, but also I feel like people don't know this yet, but something you can actually do to increase your watch time is to make your content longer. Now, I'm not saying put blanks in between your content or make it boring, but look for a way to add more value to your content, increase the length of your content. So for instance, if you were to film a 5-minute video and have a 50% retention rate, that is 2 minutes 30 seconds, right? On the other hand, if the video was 10 minutes and you had the same 50% retention rate, that would equals to 5 minutes. You guys can see the difference. So I'm going to show you guys some of my own personal analytics so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I decided to show you guys some of my videos with different lengths so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. You can see that the first video, the 5 minutes video, only has about 2 minutes watch time, average watch time. The 32 minutes video has about 5 minutes average watch time, while the 20 minutes video has about 4 minutes of watch time. You guys can see the difference in terms of watch time. So again, the higher the length, the more watch time you're going to get. Now I'm just going to be comparing these two videos. We can see here this one has 5 minutes and this is a 30 minutes video compared to the 5 minutes video. So the longer your videos are, the more watch time you are going to get. So my longer content have more watch time because there are more minutes to it and there are more content and more values for them to gain from longer content, right, compared to shorter content. So a way you can do that, a way you can increase your watch time, your watch hours, and then hit that 4,000 hours milestone is simply by figuring out how to increase the length of your content. So if you used to do maybe 5 minutes content, see how you can maybe do 10 minutes content once in a while, and you guys would definitely see the drastic difference and a drastic increase in your watch time, and that counts because every minute they are watching your content, every second they are watching your content, it counts and it records as your watch time, and you always want to make sure that you keep them on your content, on your channel for as long as you possibly can. Okay, so the third tip or strategy you can use and implement on your channel is by posting more content. Post more content, but make sure you don't take the value out of it. Make sure that you're delivering quality, because at the end of the day, quality exceeds quantity. Is so important in the content world, because you need that content to translate into something, translate into watch time, into views, into subscribers, into money. So you always want to make sure that you're not taking out the value out of it. But see how you can add more content to your channel, increase the frequency of your content. Maybe if you used to post once a week, see how you can be posting twice or 3 times a week, and that would automatically double or triple your watch time, your watch hours overnight, right? So if you want to hit that, you have to put in the work, right? So see how you can increase the frequency and the consistency of your content. That definitely has an impact on your watch time. Trust me. Okay, so my third tip is for you to create what the audience actually wants to watch. And the past week, I'm gonna leave the video on here. I talked about reasons why your channel isn't growing as fast. And one of the things I talked about was basically the fact that you post content people don't want to watch. And when you put out content that people don't want to watch, they don't watch it, right? They don't watch it, and it doesn't count, doesn't add to your watch time. So what you want to be doing is to make sure that every content you're putting out, at least one person wants to watch it, right? Make sure that it is in high demand. Make sure that either your audience requests for it, or you do your research to find out which one is a very hot topic and will get you a lot of views and watch time, and see how you can create content around that. And that is so important. You don't want to be wasting your time, your effort, your resources creating content people actually do not want to watch, right? Because that's gonna do you more harm than good, right? So focus on creating content, applying the right strategies, and doing your work the right way. All right, so my next tip is to make sure that you're creating content that not only meets people's expectations but exceeds expectations. And you would see this, and you would see the effect of this in your click-through rates as well as in your retention rates. So now when you put out content and someone clicks on it, now they are clicking on it because they feel like it is something of value, they must see. So you always want to make sure that that content meets their expectations. If possible, exceed their expectation. For instance, posting a content, having a thumbnail about you traveling the world in 30 days, and then opening that content only to find out that you're sitting in bed talking about something that is so not related to what the thumbnail and the title was saying. You always want to make sure that what you say is what your audience gets, right? You always want to make sure that there's a balance between these two. Make sure that you meet their expectations, if possible, exceed it, because that way it makes them want to watch more. It makes them to be hooked on you, right? They want to see more. They're excited. They are elated. You've exceeded their expectations. They're like, oh, if she can do this and it's amazing, if the first video is amazing, then the next one is also going to be amazing. That way, they keep on watching. So now, feeding off on the last tip or strategy that I talked about, I do want to say that another way you can increase your watch time is by making sure that your contents are bingeable. So you want to make sure you're creating bingeable content, and that way it lets people to be stuck and hook on your content. So they watch one content, and that content leads to another content, and that content leads to another content. Now, if you're starting off on YouTube and you don't have a lot of videos, you don't have a lot of series to feed off on, something you can do is to make sure that you're utilizing your cards right here. So you can talk about something like, for instance, you can definitely watch this video right here to see how I set up my studio. In case you guys are interested, click on this link right here and you can get started with that. That way, when they are done watching this video, or when you are done watching this video, you can now watch this one. That way, it's bingeable. It's like a cycle, watching your content over and over and over again, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. And that way, you're accumulating a lot of views. So instead of people watching your content and then going off to bed and maybe watching someone else's content, they watch your first content and then you direct them to your second content. Or at the end of your video, you can have an end card and then direct them to another content. So that way, it's a cycle. People are binge watching your content, but however, no one is going to watch the next content if the first one is crappy. So again, taking note of the previous tip we talked about, make sure that your content is engaging and it's delivering to what it has said, and you're meeting or exceeding people's expectations. Okay, so next up, and for me this is so important, this is very important because this is how people click out of your videos like that. You want to make sure that the first 10 to at least 15 seconds of your video catches people's attention. So whatever the video is about, you can say that in the beginning of the video, right? You can add like if you're doing a vlog, you can pick out the most important aspect of your vlog and put that in the first 10 to 15 seconds, right? So if people can stay on that content for the first 15 seconds, then they are more likely to keep on watching, right? So if you can hook them that first 15 seconds, then odds are they are going to watch more. And the more they watch, the more it adds to your watch time. And that is what we're trying to do. So always make sure that the best of your content is, you put it first, right? So people see that and they now know what to expect. And because they've seen that, they are now expecting that, right? They were like, when is this going to happen? I saw this in the beginning of the video. I want to see, when is it going to happen? When is she going to dive off the cliff? Because maybe you went, let's say you traveled to a country. Let's say you're doing a travel vlog and let's say you had lunch with a tiger, for instance. I mean, I don't know if that's possible, but I'm just saying that. So let's say you had lunch with a tiger, right? You can put that clip, that exciting, curious clip, the beginning, right? People see that in the first 15 seconds, like, oh my God, what is he doing, right? And then you can continue with your vlog, right? So when people see that, they want to know, when is this going to happen? How is this? What happened? What was he thinking? They want to see the entire process. They are now hooked on your content. So that is something you can use in all your videos, whatever niche you are. Just apply the same strategies. Look for the most exciting parts, put it in the beginning, get them hooked on it, and let them watch the end. That way, it's going to increase your watch time. Thank me later. Trust me. I know. So yeah, we've come to an end of this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is KELECHI Mgbemena. It's so nice to meet you here. It's so nice for you to be here. Welcome to my channel, our place, our platform for learning and growing here on YouTube. So here we talk about beauty, strategy, marketing, YouTube, social media, production. If you guys are interested in starting and growing your online brand, your influence using content, then definitely feel free to subscribe to my channel by clicking on this button right here. It is free. I know I'm giving you free content. Also feel free to check out my other videos right here and right here in case you guys want to get started with creating content, filming, setting up your studio. I have tons of videos relating to that. Please do subscribe and I can't wait to see you guys in my other videos. So yeah, let's go.